Good morning Ritu. Good morning all. Welcome to this morning's outlook. Let's just start off as normal, looking at the potential news impact items. So let's just run across. In fact, I've already seen some data out this morning. The UK data. Let's just update this. It came out quite a disappointing number on the claimant count change. People losing jobs, more people claiming benefit, so that's gone up significantly. This might slow up interest rate increases. It's having the wrong effect. Effectively, it's supposed to be average earnings didn't increase any further, so that's fine in terms of what's being looked for out there. But the employment numbers falling like this, or increased claimants, is not a good sign. So we've seen the reaction to that on the markets this morning. Aside of that, then today we've got the 10 o'clock. We've got the German economic sentiment out. It sometimes causes a little blip. That's about it. Then we've got the Canadian inflation data out. We'll see what happens there. It's possible volatility with the Canadian dollar, US dollar CAD, of course, and then the US retail sales out later. So they can be a bit of a shifter, but particularly if we saw any falls. But there's expectation that both of them are growing from last time versus last time. So, but if they were to become well underneath number, that could certainly be poor for the US dollar. Right. Let's go and have a look at the markets themselves and see what's happening. Euro dollar then. Euro yesterday, very small inside day effectively. Really, it was looking like it was setting something up in the morning on the lower time frames, but fortunately I didn't get into it. Took a different trade instead, but this literally is a nice little bear flag there yesterday. It would have triggered around about 10 o'clock if you were looking to trade it, but it's then just gone into chop. It won't all work, that's for sure. At the moment, we're just seeing a bit of a recovery going on here by the looks of things in the current bar, but it's really quite a mess there. I haven't got a trade to be had. I mean, if you're looking at a break of the highs here, well, that would give us higher low and potentially more upside, but quite a thin old day yesterday. Morning in. Looking then today at the pound dollar, and you see we're off this morning. It's just coming off there, and quite strongly. It's I think this could drift off further as we go through the morning, but we'll see what happens. Yesterday it was amongst the stronger currency pairs there. It just carried on, had the bear flag, never did anything with it, and just ran on. So not a lot happening there at the moment in terms of what we can get into. The US dollar yen, I'm sort of looking at lower time frames, thinking, well, maybe we'll see a continuation to the upside. It's quite ugly what we're seeing here on the dailies. Maybe we've got another retracement down there. There was a sort of a channel, ignoring that big move. There was a channel running up there, but struggling at the moment. It could be coming down for its weekly pivot at some stage, and that's. But there is quite a bit of support around the last week's pivot there, which may provide some support. Coming off that, then just looking down the time frames here, and well, we've got the sort of the bear flaggy sort of pattern that's kicking there. Maybe if it gets back above the pivot and the trend line that will be running across there, it could be a bit more. We could see more upside, but not overly clear. Aussie dollar still sitting in a short on this. It's well, gone back the right way from my short perspective, looking towards the lows and maybe even some more. It's coming off at the moment, but no new trades to be had on this at this stage. It's got quite messy where it is. US dollar CAD, not really seeing a lot on this at the moment. It's starting to get quite rangy on the days, of course, and then the 4 hourlies. Well, I'd like to see a breakdown of the lows there, maybe at some stage. Looking towards the S1, but it almost looks a bit wishful thinking. We'll see. It has got close to its daily pivot and reacted off a little bit. Break the lows. Could see a continuation on that. It's probably one of the brighter ones out there anyway. New Zealand dollar, this is also, actually let's just go up the time frames a little bit. This is also in a channel pointed out a number of times now. It's still riding the channels that look into the downside. Again, we've got this sort of bear flag on the 4-hour Liz. Let's just get rid of this, don't need all that there. It's got the bear flag on the 4-hour Liz. Really depends if it can break down below the daily pivot here. At the moment it's holding up. We could see a bit of continuation later. Euro yen, it's just gone into a horrible chop on the hourly basis. You can see it's a bit undecided. Another one that is it going to roll back over a little bit more, break the lows, continue in this downside? But it's not really a clear pattern there. The support previously that range, buying range, held up yesterday and today. Yesterday, last week, beg your pardon. And well, at the moment we're possibly on this ball flaggy sort of pattern, but again, need to wait a while before anything kicks in there positively. So mixed old bag. No surprise to see euro pound yesterday. It came off quite nicely back to these prior lows here. Today, well, it's this poor news has seen us pop in a bar that we can't really. I don't want to be taking trades from. Other pairs, Euro Aussie, not particularly great. Euro CAD is the one that's normally my more favoured pair. This is still, well, it's got a sort of neckline using the quarterly pivot there. Potentially we could see a break below its S1 and a continuation, and that's really on the bigger swingy side of things what I'm looking for. Alternatively, if it runs into its daily pivot and then there's a flag potential, just come back here, just draw this over here. So it's this sort of flaggy pattern. I'd like to see the pivot hit, or alternatively break on the neckline. Right, morning Michael. That is about it on the currencies. The pound Aussie's gone absolutely horrible. Pound CAD's not looking a lot better either. Look, untradeable for me at the moment. So some of these crosses, they're not looking the best. I will do some more analysis in trading room later on. What I'm finding is you get to sort of 8:30, 9 o'clock, and all of a sudden there's something setting up a little bit more. It's a bit sort of later in the mornings, and certainly we're seeing movements in the afternoons a lot more in these markets. Right, let's just switch markets. Have a look across onto the gold first. Just looking at the bigger picture. So still really consolidated, breaking down a little bit today, not looking so good. Lower highs not far off being put in there. We really need to break these lows here. Will give us confirm lower highs and maybe a little bit more downside. But so long as the dollar's holding up there, we're not going to get too much movement. Crude, yesterday we got a little bounce in the end, but maybe it's a down day today then. Came up to the weekly pivot, sort of berry flag. We'll see what happens. It's not too far away from its daily pivot here. That might just give it the support, so we've got to be a bit careful with this. It has got some divergence, I should imagine, over the highs end. It's triggered that. So structurally, really, we're still in this sort of downward bias. Okay, looking at the equity markets very briefly, running through these. Let's just make sure I'm on a daily picture here. There we go. So CSI 300 continue to struggle. As I said yesterday, still looks in a bearish pattern to me. Effectively, the Nikkei again continue to push up. It's really gone up there. Some big gold gaps that will eventually get filled, but certainly looking half decent. The Nifty 50 coming off this morning. Yesterday it was looking pretty sound, but the trend wise still fairly solid there. I mean, when you've had such a push up, we'll probably expect some sort of retrace. Aussie 200 index is just consolidating. It's ugly. Plenty of ugly ones out there. We'll start off with the ugliest of them all. The US S&Ps, the E-mini 500 here, just consolidating. No, not really going anywhere. I feel sorry for anyone that's trying to trade these. They're so ugly at the moment. The Dow Jones, really ugly. There's uncertainties into the markets, but at least it's not just being sold, or being bought would be probably okay for a lot of people. But Nasdaq, as I said before, it's the brighter one of the bundle at the moment, and it is just drifting its way to the upside. Just got to have patience and big stops on it. The DAX still consolidating where it is. As I said yesterday, it's still hanging around about those highs, which might give us a bit of potential for a breakout at some stage to the upside. And then the FTSE off, well, flattish, off a little bit this morning from where it's been there, but still positive at the moment. But it's a slow old move if it's coming out of this flag. It's really chopped sideways a lot there. That's pretty much it there. That's pretty much it for me today. I'm going to wish you a great day. Not to be surprised that we're seeing these sort of more choppy markets at the moment. There's nothing really driving. We sort of get in between these key news events. It goes all a bit plateaued leading up to the event. The event comes out, we get a bit of a movement for a few days, and then it gets all a bit choppy again, and we're in that bit choppy again stage. However, there are opportunities out there, and it's just a case of being patient, waiting around and looking as the day develops, really. There's certainly swing probabilities at times to be running through, so it's not all doom and gloom. Anyway, I wish you a great day's trading, and I'll catch you tomorrow morning. Bye for now.